The evolution of rock music in Canada, 1970s to 1980s. A look at the rise of Canadian rock bands and their influence from the Coalition for Music Education in Canada. Rock music in Canada developed in the 1960s and 1970s, influenced by blues, folk, and American, British rock. The growth of FM radio, live music venues, and record labels helped Canadian artists reach wider audiences. Government initiatives like CanCon, Canadian Content Regulations, 1971, helped push Canadian artists onto radio stations, ensuring Canadian music had a platform. Rock music originated in the 1950s, evolving from blues, country, jazz, and rhythm and blues, R&B. Key characteristics: electric guitars, strong rhythms, and expressive vocals. Typically performed by bands with a lead singer, guitarists, a bassist, and a drummer. Rock was heavily influenced by blues music, particularly from Black American artists. Early Canadian rock musicians drew inspiration from blues legends like Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, and Chuck Berry. The British Invasion, Beatles, Rolling Stones, etc., reintroduced blues to the mainstream, further shaping Canadian rock. Many rock bands adapted blues structures, riffs, and themes into their music, such as The Guess Who, American Woman, 1970, uses blues-based guitar riffs and protest themes. Bachman-Turner Overdrive, Blue Collar, 1973, bluesy rhythm, slow groove, and extended solos. Rush, Working Man, 1974, bluesy pentatonic scale and a heavy, repetitive riff. April Wine, I Like to Rock, 1979, blues rock chord progressions mixed with a hard rock sound. Hard rock, progressive rock, and arena rock took off in Canada. Key bands that gained international fame: Rush, progressive rock pioneers. April Wine, hard rock with blues influences. Bachman-Turner Overdrive, BTO, power rock and working class anthems. The Guess Who, a blend of pop, blues, and rock. Canadian bands developed their own identity rather than just imitating American and British acts. The whiteness of rock music in Canada. Juno Award nominees from this era were overwhelmingly white, with little recognition of Black, Indigenous, and female artists. Mainstream Canadian rock tended to exclude diverse voices despite their influence. Indigenous and Black rock artists in Canada, 1975 to 1988. Willie Dunn, Micmac, folk rock with political themes. Cashton, Innu, Indigenous rock, pop duo. Salome Bay, the First Lady of Canadian blues. Women in Canadian rock. Lee Aaron, one of Canada's first female heavy metal artists. Toronto, band, fronted by Holly Woods, a rock powerhouse in the early 80s. The Headpins, lead singer Darby Mills, the Queen of Scream. Triumph, Canada's arena rock heroes formed in 1975, Mississauga, on Triumph became one of Canada's biggest rock acts. Known for their blend of progressive rock and hard rock, with elaborate stage shows. Key members: Rick Emmett, vocals, guitar; Mike Levine, bass, keyboards; Gil Moore, drums, vocals. Triumph's impact. Breakthrough album. Just a Game, 1979, featured hits, Lay It on the Line, and Hold On. Biggest success. Allied Forces, 1981, included Magic Power and Fight the Good Fight. Live performances. Played major arenas, including Maple Leaf Gardens and the US Festival in California. Themes: empowerment, unity, and personal strength. Other Canadian rock giants of the era. Rush, progressive rock pioneers, 2112, Moving Pictures. Streetheart, Harlequin, Chilliwack, popular rock bands with cult followings. The Tragically hip, folk-infused rock, uniquely Canadian storytelling, late 80s. The 1980s saw the rise of new wave and pop rock, Glass Tiger, Platinum Blonde. Hard rock and metal gained traction with bands like Helix and Anvil. Much Music, launched in 1984, boosted Canadian rock music's visibility. The legacy of 1970s rock bands influenced future artists. The 1970s and 1980s were a golden era for Canadian rock. Bands like Triumph, Rush, and BTO paved the way for future Canadian artists. Canadian rock influenced bands like the Tragically Hip, the Tea Party, and Big Wreck.